Let's talk practical personal finance. Remember, your current financial situation is just the sum of the past financial decisions that you've made, and change the way that you treat money and you can change your life. I like to look at personal finance in three areas: increasing income, reducing expenses, investing. Today we will take a closer look at reducing expenses, although the other areas are just as important. I think that this is an area that deserves more time on YouTube. I think that a lot of content talks about don't buy the coffee a day, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about what they did specifically, practically, to be able to save up and have those millions to invest. I hear a lot about increasing income, but I think that there's a bit of a content gap in the reducing expenses department. So remember, everyone has a different life situation and can make different decisions regarding this. I will just share three main areas where I was able to cut expenses a ton. This worked for me. I was able to save up, invest, and this year I was hoping to get to 3 million Swedish in personal net worth. However, with the current market conditions, I'm closer to 2 than 3, so that's very unfortunate. Let's just get right into reducing expenses. Alright, so area number 1, transportation. This is a huge one. If you are familiar with the 80-20 rule, 80% of the results come from 20% of the actions you take. And in terms of taking big action in reducing expenses, well, transportation is a really big one. I'm 29 years old. I never owned a car. So this has helped me immensely in being able to save up money and set aside and invest. And I know that this does not work for everyone, especially in America, where society is built around owning a car. But maybe do like they do in large part of Asia and try owning a scooter. Maybe this could be a solution. Please let me know in the comments below if you think it's viable and you're from America. However, back to the car part. Buying a car, extremely expensive. A lot of people need to finance, and interest rates are high right now. You have the increasing gas prices, you have insurance, and then you have those lovely surprises where you need to spend 4 grand or 2 grand or something like this in the auto mechanic to fix your car. So enough said, it's a money pit, it's a black hole, and if you can afford to be without a car, if you can get to work some other way, then this is something that could save you a ton of money. This is a huge action. That's why I'm starting with it as number 1, and that's been a massive contributor to me to build more net worth. Contributor number 2, all these subscriptions that we have today. We have a ton of them. You need your Netflix, you need your Disney Plus, Spotify, maybe you have some gaming subscriptions, you have your phone, you have your the cable. There's just a ton of these subscriptions, and businesses are going towards this actively as a model. You're not paying for something and owning it, you're renting it and being happy, if you're to quote Carl Schwab. But these subscriptions is something that I looked at very actively in my own life. I don't have any streaming services. I'm not paying for Netflix, nothing like that. I don't have cable TV. I don't have subscriptions, not even a phone number, or for example medical insurance. I get that via my employment. No cable, no monthly subscription, fixed cost other than the rent I pay for the place I'm staying at. So I realized that this has been an extremely beneficial part of me, to be able to cut down these subscriptions and not get tempted into having a ton of them and then forgetting about them, and they're just rolling on autopilot and we don't really look over them a lot. So that would definitely be, a call to action. If you could look at 3 things in your own life, transportation, and then look at your subscriptions, you're going to save a lot more than cutting out, the cup of latte from Starbucks every day. The subscriptions is a big one in terms of expenses in personal finance. And then the third area is that I try to be very mindful about my consumption. In the past, the first thing I did when I got my first big bonus from Dell was that I ran out and I bought a very expensive watch. But what does this watch really say about me? It only says that, alright, this person has 10 something grand less in their bank account. That's 10 grand that could be used to buy back my own time. That could reduce the years I need to work full time substantially. It could mean that, I could go and work part-time sooner or move to another country sooner. And this is something that I've been really mindful about in the last few years, and ways that this manifests into my consumption is, for example, take a look at this lovely shoe right here. It's a Lidl shoe, brand shoe, 12 euros for shoes. That's a good price, rather than paying large amount for some brand like Jordans or something like this, and then wasting a lot of money in that area that I can use on investing instead, or spend on things that I actually find enjoyable, like steaks, for example. So just being more mindful in terms of consumption, and just splurging in areas that actually are, joyful for me, like going out, traveling from time to time and eating a lot of steak. I think that those are worthwhile endeavors, whereas just buying brand clothes and these kind of things, that's money thrown down the lake, in my opinion, basically. But hey, if you like fashion, you like fashion, and that shouldn't stop you from buying a ton of clothes. This is just what I did to reduce expenses. In my room I have 2 coffers, and those fit everything I own, basically. That's including, workout clothes and socks and this kind of stuff. So in terms of owning things, I own very, very few things, and that has worked for me. That's worked extremely well to cut down expenses. If I'm to buy something new, well, then I need to get rid of something in my coffer as well. So as I was in Thailand, I got 3 new workout t-shirts, and I had to throw away some old t-shirts when I bought the new ones. That's just the way I make my decisions. And if that works for you too, well, fantastic. Then you find a way to reduce your expenses, to be able to invest more into assets rather than expenses. And that way, hopefully in a future very, very near, you will be able to reach your financial goals. Maybe you're able to retire early, or maybe able to work part-time, or whatever financial goals you're having. I hope that these tips can help you in some way in reaching them. All right, that's been it for this video, and as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.